Beautiful once again. I've been hearing from different people, and including myself, of the difficult time that they've had this past few days. And I just wanted to share some more tips on what we can do to help ourselves through this process. I want to say that, first of all, while we're going through these difficult times, it is really important that we learn to embrace and to hold ourselves through whatever comes up, and to become our own cheerleaders, and to be the person that is here for us even when we're going through our darkest times. And I know sometimes when we're in those really dark periods of our life, it's very difficult for us to feel like we have the space to be able to hold ourselves, or even be there for ourselves. But during those times, I feel that that is a time when we are able to release some of our resistance and tune in to our higher source, tune in to that love that exists within all of us, and ask for help. Because sometimes we don't feel that we have the strength to go on, or we don't feel like we have the strength to be able to carry ourselves through some of the things that we're going through. The other thing is grounding. Grounding is very important, and there's so many different ways that you can ground. And what it is I feel like grounding is grounding into your soul, grounding into yourself, but then also grounding into the planet, because we are part of the planet. And it also helps us calm down our nervous system, which is, a lot of us are walking around just super with anxiety and just almost out of our body, because we don't feel safe being in our body, because we're suffering so much. There's so much pain. And so grounding to the earth is very, very helpful. Taking off your shoes and putting your feet on the ground, that's what I'm doing right now. So just spending time in nature, spending time near water, taking a shower. Sometimes if you don't have access, like right now I'm on my lunch and I'm hanging out near the water. Energy work, there's a lot of different energy work that you can do, and it doesn't even have to be that you have to go out somewhere else to do energy work. There's different things that you can do. There's meditations that you can do. Even just let's say your heart is feeling heavy. I would put my hand up against my heart and check in with myself. What's going on? What are you feeling? And naming it, right? Like, what is this that is here? What message does this pain have for me? And it's about leaning into it instead of running away from it. Now, I do have to give a warning that you can lean into it, but only so much, right? You don't want to drown in it at the same time. So there is a certain balance where you're not being consumed by the pain, but where you can safely, check in with that pain and find out where it's coming from. And then also check in with yourself every day. What do I need today? What does my inner child need today? Maybe your inner child needs to play. Maybe you're needing to love yourself a little bit more. Maybe you're needing to take a break from eating certain foods. Maybe you're just needing to hydrate yourself. That's been like what I've been noticing this past few days. Also has been, I should say more than a few days, it's been weeks, that a lot of people are needing water. Our bodies are needing that water, because we are going through such a transformation at a cellular level, and a lot of us may not realize that that's what's happening. We'll start to see bodily changes, old things coming up that you had forgotten about. But this is an opportunity for us. This is not meant to be bad. Like, a lot of people, just because of the denseness and just how heavy it feels, they feel like this is a negative thing, and this is not. We are coming out of a period of darkness, and we are entering a new light, a new age of light, I should say. And so, as I've said before, what happens when you shine the light on the darkness? You're able to see all the filth. You're able to see all the grime and all the things that maybe you didn't see before, because they were in the dark, and now they're not in the dark. They're coming out to the light. But that's what we are. Those things that we filled ourselves up with, those things that we identified ourselves with, they're not us. Our past and our experiences are not us. Yes, they are important and they do matter, and we don't want to deny the physical, because it's not just about being spiritual. It's about harmonizing and marrying that spirit with the physical, because the physical isn't bad either. The physical is here to allow us to have the opportunity to experience ourselves as almost feeling like we're an individual entity, and it allows us to have that idea of almost separation from our source. But we're never separate from our source. We are in our source right now. We could not be separate. There's absolutely nothing that you could ever do that would separate you from your source, from God, from what you are. It is your very breath. Actually, we're looking at it right now. Something that's been coming up for me is realizing how sacred and how holy the body is. And it's not just for me. A lot of my soul family, they're also having the same experience of realizing how sacred our body is, that we are in the body of God. And that's not to be blasphemous, but we are. And everything that you see is of God. The flowers, the water, even the evil things that you think that God is condemning, it is of God too. And I know this is a very different from what we've been taught, and it may be difficult for us to accept this, but realize that everything that you see and everything that you encounter, including yourself, is of God and not apart from that source. And so I wanted to encourage you guys, and I always want to encourage you guys to please continue. Please continue. It does get better. I know sometimes when we're going through the thickest part of it, it feels like we're not going to be able to get out of it because we're in the sludge, and we're like, how are we going to be able to make it through this? We don't have the strength, but we are so strong. We're all warriors. We are so strong, and we forget that. That's the thing about the human experience. We can come here and experience not being strong and experience feeling weak and separate and limited, and that's what we came here to do. But now we're waking up out of that dream. Now the collective is waking up, and we now have the opportunity to view ourselves from a higher perspective, from a perspective of wholeness, of power too. But like I said, it's not power over other. The real power is love. That's where the real power comes from. It's from realizing that we are all one, and that what we do to one affects all. And when you're speaking to one, you are speaking to all. And so maybe we can be a little bit more kinder to ourselves today. Maybe when we have the thoughts of like, I shouldn't have done that, or I'm a piece of shit for doing this, or I'm dumb, or I'm an idiot, or whatever we tell ourselves. And I'm an expert. I've been talking to myself like that for many years. And what I do now is I try to emulate that the voice of source that speaks through me and that speaks in me. And that voice is so gentle. That voice is so loving. It's so supportive, and it's so welcoming. And I've transitioned from speaking to myself as if I'm my enemy to speaking to myself as if I'm my best friend, my own best lover, my own cheerleader, my own everything. And it's not that I don't, I can't have those things in the physical plane, but we got to start with ourselves. We got to start to be gentle with ourselves. We have to start having some compassion and some mercy for ourselves, and be able to forgive ourselves, and realize that our source has already forgiven us. Our source holds us in mercy, in compassion, in the deepest embrace, in acceptance of who we are, of who we've been, and everything that we've done. It does not judge us. And we judge ourselves, and we judge another. And that's what we do. That's what we do until we don't. Until we don't want to do that anymore. And so I will try to share a few more tips on other things that you can do. There's different, doing yoga, taking a nap, getting energy work, getting a massage, even if it just means you massaging yourself. And again, being out in nature, going out for a hike, doing breathing meditations, whatever works for you. Like if riding a bicycle or hanging out with kids, I'm finding that laughter is really like one of the best things, like loud laughters, So watch something funny, watch something that lights you up and makes you feel good. I love you all so much. As always, I am here in service to humanity. I am here in service to all. If you need anything, please do not hesitate and reach out to me. I love you all so much. Please be blessed, and I will speak to you guys again soon. Bye-bye.